Welcome back to the Reviews Doctor podcast. Today, Raniak and the crew looks at the final televised story of Ace before she is ruined by Chibnall, avoid making Action 52 Chia Men jokes, and discuss the cancellation of Classic Who. It's survival.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, we are looking at Sylvester McCoy's final story for Doctor Who, and indeed the final story for 16 years?
15 and change, but yes.
Unless you want to count the 1993 Christmas special.
Or the movie.
So 16 years, yeah.
There was a Christmas special?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
talking about dimensions in time.
That's
yeah,
not
I've
Christmas.
seen
That was Children in Need.
Oh, I thought that was Christmas.
No,
Either way.
it was a November special for Children in Need.
Either
It
way,
was
it was
still-
bad.
It was filled with clowns, and so I didn't know.
I mean, EastEnders is pretty much close to clowns, so yes. I do not like
why would that
EastEnders.
be clowns?
Thankfully, they do not appear in this serial. And to discuss the serial with me, I'm joined by my three co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, he has the eye of the tiger, he has the will of the fight. Wait, no, sorry, wrong big cat. It's Freezing Inferno.
Hey, everybody. We're going to say it at the top of the show because it's big. Buy Back to the 11th Hour, Volume 2, available now on Amazon.com by Christa McTeer, where you can find such interesting and enlightening, succinct footnotes and things like this.
How much does that wolf pay you for these advertisements?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
So I think this contributor goes by the name of Frez G Inferno or something like that.
Yeah. Rain.
But seriously,
You-
man, my man, congratulations. I am inherently jealous. You have been officially cited in a book. Now you have to write your own.
I mean, I was cited in the last book, to be fair. And also, the citation, Rain.
Yes, I like the citation. Now, of course,
Frez is now officially a source.
yes, he's been cited in 2 books as a source, and now he has to write 2 of his own. That's just how it works.
And then he's got to cite Christa in all of them.
I don't make the rules; I just benefit from them.
I mean, if we get Christa on the show talking about Symphogear, then I can cite her insight.
Whoa! This plan was not
Whoa.
put. This was not approved by me in any.
Wait, you're saying that you want me to write a book and cite Christa? I'm like, well, here's a book.
Yeah, a book, not a podcast. Nobody mentioned a Symphogear
Speaking of
podcast.
when is the Kamen Rider podcast happening?
You've
Right
preempted my
after
intro.
these 2 clowns finish Symphogear.
Congratulations, Kuchiri, you preempted my introduction for you.
What I am hearing from this is start watching Kamen Rider so then I don't have to watch the rest of Symphogear. Okay, got
Ooh,
it.
I like that.
You're only
idea.
1 season left.
To my virtual right, we could not have picked a more fitting name for our co-host for this episode. It's Kat.
Hey!
It's a joke that writes itself.
It's not even a joke, it's just true. And finally, have a guess how long it will take him to make another Kamen Rider reference in this episode of our podcast. It's Kuchiri.
Hi.
Like I said, you preempted the introduction. Well done.
Listen, at some point in Kamen Rider's 50-year-plus long history, there has been a Kamen Rider mirror, and whenever Kuchiri discovers it, you're all fucked.
Yes. True
Well,
statement.
Frez, you know what
So-
does have mirrors in it? The live-action version of Sailor Moon, which you should totally watch.
So hey, speaking of our monster of the week,
Yes.
There we go. Okay. Well, we don't have Kamen Rider mirror, but we have Kamen Rider Cheetah here.
Is that a Kamen Rider or is that a
it's a monster. It's a general Kizari.
because it kind of looked like one of the Rinshi from Jungle Fury.
Kind of. I wonder if they used the same outfit because O's came out like 5 years after Geki Ranger.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the Japanese equivalent of Jungle Fury. That's
By
why
the way,
we keep
Geeker
you. That's why we
Rangers-
have you around to give us Kamen Rider knowledge. Anyway, something that's not Kamen Rider then, survival, which begins
Yay.
with Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I resent that. I resent that.
Oh,
You
I
changed
totally
that.
made that joke a lot.
I resent that. You totally changed that.
All right. Begins
I
with,
resent that. Salem the cat had better effects.
it
for
begins
Yes.
with Stufa, the rubber cat from Harry Hill.
I
What
resemble that, Mark.
What are the chances of that happening? Actually, I have to. The only reason I'm bringing up Salem is I will be forever indebted to his voice actor because he has been responsible for one of the best pieces of phrasing into my vernacular. She's a stunt granny.
What?
Stunt granny, you know. From
Granny.
Pro Wrestling Secrets Revealed. Followed up by
So anyways, to distract Rainiac from talking about his jilfs, let's talk about survival.
Well,
I'm
there's
just
a
gonna
man
mute my own microphone after saying Jills. God damn it! I'm out.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at
That's my joke. Damn it!
Hey, you were out. You don't get to make jokes when you're out.
I'm back in. So
That's when we thought he was out. They pulled him back in.
Yeah, I guess I'm back.
oh, son of a bitch. So
So a man is washing his car on a lazy Sunday morning, and there's this weird animatronic cat thing watching and hissing. And then all of a sudden it cuts to like a POV of watching the guy wash his car, and then he looks up and he's like, oh my god! Ah! And he runs away, and then something happens and he disappears.
Oh my god, it's the film version of Cats rather than the stage version. Ah!
No, we're making that joke way too early.
Oh,
Isn't
you
there
say way
a
too
poster
early.
for the play? There's a poster for the play somewhere in this episode, right?
Yeah, that's why I said we're making that joke way too early.
Yeah,
Wait
there
until
is.
the actual poster for Cat
No,
shows up.
Steve, Frez. You think I'm making it too early? I think I have too many.
Oh god.
You know that siren from Kill Bill.
yeah, I was gonna say I am.
That's going off in my brain
I am
right now.
suddenly filled with a sense of impending dread.
Well, no. The reason why Kat said before the episode that she lost her soundboard was she replaced it all with the Cat soundtrack.
I didn't lose my soundboard, I just didn't pull it up yet.
I was
And-
going
and-
with the joke set.
So in season 4, episode 7, the Synfigure shit, I can't get away from it, can I?
No, I'm the one that can't get away from it because whatever I turn, it's either Kamen Rider or Symphogear.
I mean, they're both very similar.
What?
I'm sure they're
They're
crossed
very
over.
similar, but one doesn't have the stuff I don't like in it.
Well, I mean, over the 50 years, it probably had some iffy moments. But anyway, back to the Doctor Who.
Yeah, back to the Doctor Who. The Doctor and Ace turned up, and it turns out we're in Perivale.
Ace's home.
Now, does Perivale actually exist? I can't remember.
You're in England. You tell
I've never
me.
heard of a real life Perivale, but maybe. No, it isn't.
So this is just a fake suburb of
I think
London?
so. If anyone actually comes from Perivale and is listening to this, please tell me how full of shit I am. But
I mean, we depend on the British person to get the British knowledge right.
I
here,
will
you
say I've never heard of Perivale, and it looks
know?
like
Then again, Rainiac is from the north.
Okay, so there was a site called Welcome to Perivale, but it's been taken down now, and I have no idea whether it's true. However, I am indeed full of shit because the official council website has a listing for Perivale. It's real.
Real. So,
It's part of Ealing.
Perivale is a residential suburb of West London with an industrial estate comprising of numerous buildings built in the 1930s and the spectacular Art Deco Hoover building, now Tesco's.
That bracket just depresses me.
That
Yeah.
is the most English thing I've ever heard.
We got the spectacular Art Deco building. What are we gonna do with it? Oh, make it into a supermarket.
God. So, it's a boring old Sunday in Perivale, and Ace is just saying, well, nothing ever happens here in Perivale. And,
Here's
they're going...
something actually happening in Perivale.
Well, there's more of those cats going around, and one of them is watching a couple kids play football. Like, I think it's American football. It's not like the actual football with your feet. But anyway, it cuts to a mysterious man with yellow glowing eyes looking through the cat's eyes and saying, "Show me. Show me."
Yeah, so death from the Discworld series. No.
We'll get to who this is later.
I'm going to tell you right now, Chris is going to hate you for that joke.
Oh, no.
She loves that character.
No,
Oh,
all I
no.
mean is he literally says "show me" in the Discworld series. He has like a sort of a crystal ball or a scrying screen or something. It's
Can
like,
we
"Show
point
me
out
my
how
thoughts."
bad this eye effect is?
Yeah, it's very bad, isn't it?
I mean, the entire... I'm sorry, but the entire episode is, spoilers, pretty bad in the effects.
The budget had basically become non-existent at this stage.
I mean, it's the last ever classic story.
It looks like... I don't want to make this not this reference, but like it looked like it was dying. I'm sorry.
I mean,
yeah.
it was dying, to be fair. So, like...
It's like not even Sylvester McCoy could fix this. It's like he honestly tried, but it's like, oh,
He tried
Jesus,
over this for you,
depressing
but I mean,
episode.
it died the moment either the Merca showed up or Colin Baker choked the life out of Nicola Bryant as Doctor Who.
Oh God, do we have to keep referencing that moment?
I mean,
Yes.
we're talking
Yeah.
about what killed Doctor Who. That's fucking Exhibit A.
Honestly, I think we're just going to speed run this episode and just talk about the cancellation for the most part. I think.
I don't really want to speak.
What killed the Doctor Who? The Ice Age.
But anyway, so Ace is looking around for her old friends. She's out around Perivale Street. She goes up on the hill, and it's like, well, where's everybody to? Oh, maybe we'll try the coffee bar. Maybe we'll try the youth club. And so they head to the youth club, and this place is all worn down, and the coffee bar is closed up, and this is where there's a poster for Cats, for the Andrew Lloyd Webber version of Cats. Get some jokes out, kids. Get them out.
No,
No, it's okay. I don't want to bring back bad memories.
I refuse.
All my jokes have been censored.
See, I don't know anything about Cats, so I'm going to assume that the bad memories thing was a Cats joke.
All my
A little bit,
references comes from the most recent remakes and the fact that they were very anatomically... I can't even pronounce that word right now. Correct.
Anatomically correct?
Yeah, that.
Release the butthole cut?
Anyway,
Yeah.
so the you got it in again, didn't you? God damn it!
Man, Fresno, you did it with Rain telling you not to. What a butthole you are. Ha ha!
Ha! Press the mute button.
Where's my shot of whiskey? So, in the youth club,
have
there's
whiskey?
It's news to me.
Well, yeah. Well, in the youth club, they're holding a self-defense class taught by a... is he former Army?
He is a non-commissioned officer of the Territorial Army, Sergeant Patterson.
Sergeant Patterson.
Yeah.
So he's holding the self-defense class for the kids, just teaching them how to defend themselves, how to wrestle. And so one guy's got another like in a hold, and it's like, and the sergeant's like, "Come on, lad, finish him. But I beat him, Sarge. Oh, is that what's gonna? Because he's got that accent. Oh, is that what you think's gonna happen when you find a mugger? Eh? You let him go and shake hands and say, "Okay, good match." No, pin him down, son. And so
I know that Netflix doesn't have everything in the UK, but you don't need to turn to this for your Cobra Kai fix.
Oh, God.
Bless you for that.
Honestly, I'm surprised that... It sounds like that guy's been teaching for a while. I'm surprised the authorities haven't been called on him yet.
Well, funny you should mention this because this character was originally written differently.
go on.
He was originally a police sergeant.
I see.
And then they
Is
decided...
that why he tried arresting McCoy later this episode?
Yes, but it gets even funnier because the producer said, actually, we don't want to create a negative portrayal of the police, so can you change it, please?
don't want to create a negative portrayal of the police. Oh, the army? Yeah, fuck them.
Well, he's not the army, he's the territorial
We don't
army.
want to make a negative portrayal of the police. They're doing that themselves.
I don't know if the Americans... If America Canada has a territorial army as such, but I would like them to the reserves.
National Guard?
Yeah, the reserves.
Okay, fair enough. So the kid pins the guy down, gets him in his hold or whatever, and he's like, okay, good class, we'll see you next time. And then the kid approaches Sarge, he's like, oh, you didn't have to make me pin him. And then he gets all defensive. The sergeant's like, oh, you think I'm too hard, do you, son? Oh, have you ever heard of survival of the fittest, huh?
Why?
What do you think you're gonna do?
It's the name of the episode!
Why is
like
the
a theme or
Scottish drill
something.
sergeant got an Irish accent?
I mean,
Also, I hope
Okay.
you guys like hearing the word survival, because in this series, you're going to be hearing it quite a bit!
It wasn't the
It's
only potential title
it's
it could have had, but I'll get to that later.
oh yeah, I know the original title.
Blood
but,
Hunt.
Yeah. Blood Hunt? That's not what I was thinking of. I was not thinking of Blood Hunt, but I'll tell you later. But get used to hearing survival, because that's the theme of the episode: survival of the fittest. It's but the kid eventually is like, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And he tries to raise his fist, and the sergeant grabs him. He's like, ah, you got spirit, good boy. All right, lad, off you go, off you go. And so then the doctor and Ace show up after the class is over, and the doctor's like, oh, survival of the fittest, huh? Rather a glib generalization, don't you think?
You can tell
So
that
it's-
these two men do not like each other immediately.
Well, the doctor wouldn't be up for this macho bullshit. But Ace asks the Sarge about where all her friends are, and then he's like, oh, that's right, I recognize you. The police let you off with a warning, didn't they? Which I'm pretty sure is a reference to her burning down the house in Ghostlight. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, could have just been just a general reference, because they didn't really do, like, overarching stuff that often.
They were starting to dabble with it in this era specifically. So, and Ghostlight was just the story before, so.
We get some interesting background on
A
Ace.
story or two before.
It turns out she's been missing for 4 months.
Yeah.
She's been listed as missing by her mother, which kind of parallels what happens with Rose in Series
Hey.
1. Although I will say that Rose's mother is a lot better than Ace's.
Yes.
And Patterson sort of takes to the task and says, you didn't think about what we want to do here, did you? Where'd you go? Did you run off? Did you get put in jail? What happened? They let you out of juvenile or something. So, again, Ace and Patterson do not like each other at all.
Ace doesn't like authority that much, eh?
Yeah, the Doctor thinks that
To be
Patterson is an
fair,
idiot.
I don't like him that much at all.
No, he's not supposed to be a likable character.
I know, but still.
I think the actor does his job quite well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some more interesting dialogue too,
It's-
where he's like,
It also
Go
sounds
ahead,
like
Jake.
they were trying to make him like a secondary antagonist, and they kind of dropped it.
I could see, I don't
I
really know
think
if he's a
he's
secondary
both. I think he's both antagonist and secondary supporting
I mean,
character.
to be fair, they dropped the ball in a lot of this, and then it got batted away by a cat, so...
Well, I mean, wow. No, but what I'm talking about is like, if this was a 4-part serial, part 3 would have been the Doctor trying to stop this mini army he's made, or something like that.
I can see that being a plot probably if they had more time to like gel with it. But 3 parts back in the day, but there's some more dialogue that frames him as not in keeping with the morals of the story and all. Where he's just like, oh yeah, the only thing to do with the young is teach them to fight, but so then they'll either fight or they'll go under. Well, half of them will go under anyway, bunch of wasters. And, implicit with that, so implicit with the theme of survival of the fittest is that the unfit deserve to die. What does that mean? Exactly. Those I deem unfit by my morals deserve to die. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, he offers to teach the Doctor self-defense because he's got a class for the older men.
The doctor is tracking this animatronic cat, and the mystery person with mysterious yellow eyes is looking at him like, oh.
Okay, so I asked this in our chat. Why did it feel like the actor was behind like a glass with the image on? because you can kind of tell that the shadow is moving, but not with the image of the yellow eyes.
I mean,
Like, is that it was? I don't know. It just bugged me whenever I was watching it. It was like, why is that so?
Yeah, there's a weird sort of I always want to say glare to the eye effect. Like, it's not a reflection. Frez, pipe down. It's not a reflection per se. But
I'll get there later. Don't worry.
is it like a lens flare effect
Maybe
that wasn't meant to be there or something? Anyway,
I love that you immediately said the word and you caught yourself. You're like, down, Frez, down, down.
Don't make me get a spray bottle. Don't make me get a spray bottle. But
No,
I think that was Kuchiri, in which case, well done.
That was Kuchiri. That wasn't me. Anyway.
Meow.
Anyway, Rain, I think you might want to talk about this bit where the Doctor goes grocery shopping.
Oh, God. So, continuing the trend of having 80s comedians in Doctor Who, he goes grocery shopping, and the two people that run the store are played by Gareth Hale and Norman Pace. Harvey and Len. And don't ask me to tell you which is which, because I always get Hale and Pace mixed up despite them looking nothing alike each other.
Well, to be fair, apparently they were supposed to be playing certain roles, and then they decided to switch with each other.
Did they decide to switch, or were they just switched at the last second?
Either or.
Yeah, but it was a last-minute change. The one that Hale was playing, Harvey or Len, they swapped over. So it's Harvey and Len.
Hale was supposed to be Harvey, and Pace was supposed to be Len, and then they swapped roles soon before recording.
Yeah, I've got a transcript of the episode up, and it's very helpful because it says Gareth with a moustache, so we know who it is.
There you go.
So Hale is the one with the moustache, and Pace is the one without the moustache.
That's very helpful.
And I would say that Hale had the better career because after Hale and Pace split up, Hale's gone to be in like proper serious roles, whereas I've not really seen Pace.
So, question for you, Rain.
Yes.
You actually live in London. Have you ever had shopkeepers talk like this over a customer?
I don't live in London. I live in the north, but I've been to London.
But you live in London, right?
I mean, it's better than the person that said, "Oh, where are you from? I'm from Blackpool." Oh, so you're a foreigner then. By the way, happy birthday, Mega G Wolf, if you're listening, which you're not, but happy birthday anyway.
No, it's obvious you're from America. We all know this.
Oh my God.
Exposed.
One April Fool's Day joke, and I've paid for it ever since.
Well, damn, I got diddled again.
Look, when you actually pay me, then I will stop.
Well, damn, I guess I gotta drop that accent.
Would you accept payments and cameos?
Depends on the cameo.
Damn it.
We're just gonna make Colin Baker the fifth member, but keep on just paying him to cameo for us.
Yeah, you didn't even know that happened until like last week.
We'll just pay for the 120 cameos. Just, hey, can you give us your 5-minute review of this Doctor Who serial? We'll just add you to our podcast.
To be fair, it was a criminally low $75 to get him to give me that.
Colin Baker's cameo
He's
review
120 now. He's 120 now. He got up.
Colin Baker's review.
Good. He deserves it.
Colin Baker's cameo review of Vengeance of Barros. Some say it's a classic.
You're wasting your time. I've locked all the doors.
That's such a good bit.
It's such a good bit. So, Hale and Pace start. One of them, I guess the mustache one, starts telling the other one a joke about two guys in the jungle, and they hear a roar. Oh God, it's a lion! Wait, why are you putting on your shoes? You can't outrun a lion. I don't get it.
No, the bloke turns to him and says, "I don't have to outrun the lion." And then the doctor does what you should never do and explains the joke.
But, you know, he explains it in a creepy way. He doesn't have to outrun the lion. He only has to outrun his friend. The strong survive and the weak are killed. That's the law of the jungle.
So who's a fan of Red Bull?
I hear it gives you wings.
It also gives you heart attacks.
There's a commercial they do where two gazelles are being attacked by a lion, and the one gazelle drinks the Red Bull.
Oh my God, yes!
It's like, oh, I have seen that commercial like 1,000 times. So when this joke is going on, I'm like, oh god.
That is exactly it.
See, this is why I just don't watch TV anymore.
I will say that even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the Halo and Pace, because to be honest, I was like 1 when their show was finishing. They may have had like some reruns in the 90s. They're not used too badly here. They don't outstay their welcome. Because we don't see them after the scene, I don't think.
No, we don't. But
they get a couple of decent jokes in. They don't get shot in the back and explode in, unlike Ken Dodd, which is a plus.
Fucking, the only thing I watch on TV is Jeopardy, Matea Roach's Superiority.
Yeah. Not shout out to the media, not pointing out
Hey,
she's an amazing
Frez,
Jeopardy
is
player.
that the woman from Canada?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
But you
Didn't
didn't know
she lip
that.
sync to a certain song?
Yes, she did.
Where's
What
the mute
song is
button?
it?
Damn it!
Oh, it's the double press.
Oh, look who found their sound. Wow, look who found their soundboard.
Okay. So,
And it's a true anecdote. Jeopardy, something like 18, 19-day Jeopardy champion, as of recording, Matea Roach, said in between like the game, in the interview section, that at one point she went to a club and she had to lip sync Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
and the best thing is that Ken Jennings did not know how to react to it.
Did someone say Mariah?
I'm just going to play out this
I would
point.
also like to know that Matea,
Are you stretching Mariah from Rainiac?
I would also like to note that
Kuchiri, you're
Matea Roach
fired.
I would also like to note that Matea Roach also had to answer a question about Among Us and gave the iconic, honest answer, "What is sus?"
Oh, that was her, was it?
That was her.
I will also point out that, Matea Roach, fantastic. Brilliant Jeopardy player, and I hope she goes even further. I don't get Jeopardy, but
Clean him out, Matea. Clean him out.
I've been enjoying it through Fresno's continued coverage of the program, but I do have to give a finger of shame to the media, because they didn't care that she was an awesome Jeopardy player. They just cared she was a lesbian tutor.
Wait, she teaches lesbians?
No. I honestly can't come back from that. Move to the
Wait
next
a minute! This gay bar has no fire exit!
I mean, when you think about it, Kuchiri, aren't all lesbians lesbian tutors?
Oh god.
I'm dying over here. Move to the next scene, please.
I will take things saved in our favorite bar for 500, Alex.
Well, yeah, Alex is gone. So.
So the doctor buys some cat food, or
He doesn't even buy cat food.
he forgets to buy it. I feel like
a great joke. The guy comes out and he's like, "Haven't you forgotten something?" "Yeah, I think I've forgotten something." "Money?" "No, it's not that."
I think Ace kind of pays for it, because she says something about something always giving a jackpot or something like that.
Ace
does
pay for it, yes.
She went to
Ace-
like the next door bar to look for her friends while the doctor was in the supermarket, and she won a couple bucks in like a slot machine.
I've recovered sufficiently to say yes. Ace does pay for it.
Anyway, there's a great joke where she meets up with a friend of hers, Ange, who's collecting coins.
Oh,
outside
this is beautiful.
I love this line so much. "Oh, hey, Ange. Oh, Ace, it's you. They said, I thought you were dead. They said you died or you'd gone to Birmingham." Just imagine Ace walking out of the shop with Nardole and a bag of crisps.
Well, it could be worse. She could have gone to Blackpool.
I want Nardole.
Cats. Absolutely correct assessment. So, and you were laughing. You missed the second part.
Yes.
Absolutely correct assessment.
Yeah. so it's, all Ace asks about all her friends, and they're all like, "Oh, they've moved, they went and got in a relationship with someone else. They sort of vanished. They vanished too. What do you mean everyone vanished? That doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, you vanished too, Ace. Well, that's different." And so then when Hange asks the doctor for 10 pence, he goes on this entire speech about, effective way of a predator catching prey, isn't it? And it's like, Jesus, my guy, she's just asking for a coin.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of the scene that was cut here. He was supposed to put like a coin into her Hunt Saboteur collecting tin, but he keeps practicing it so he can do it in a certain way, and then that would have played into when he does it to Patterson later in the story.
Oh, okay.
But they just cut that for time constraints, I guess. It doesn't really add anything to it.
And so the doctor says to himself then, when is a cat not a cat? When it builds its own cat flap. And that's actually like a working title for the story, Cat Flap.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't call it that.
Cat flap being, the little thing in the door where the cat can get in or out.
Stop talking about cat flaps.
Release the butthole cut. Now you got me doing it now. God damn.
Meanwhile, that wrestling kid who was at the self-defense class, the one who was like, Sarge, I didn't have to pin him. The animatronic cat turns into a big looming POV shot and gets him too. He's like, no!
Guys, I think I figured out the bad guy's power. It causes people to trip.
The bad guy's power. We could afford a crane shot.
It causes people to trip. The bad guy is Masahiro Sakurai?
Oh, God.
Now that's a deep cut.
No, but I love how, like, in both scenes we saw so far, like, they are, trying to run away, but it's, like, the most unconvincing run ever, and they both fall, like,
oh no! Like bad.
Anyways, moving on
over
from the magical Mr. Mistopheles here.
I tripped over the mime's chest. Oh no!
Oh God! So the doctor is putting out cat food as bait and hiding in some lady's garden, and she's at the window going, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?" And he's waving her off. Shh, shh, shh. Because first a different cat starts eating the food, and he's like, "Shoo, shoo, 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 shoo," and then a dog starts eating the food.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Ace is at a playground, and she sits on one of those what do you call them? The spinny things.
Roundabout.
And then she sees the cat. And she picks up the cat and goes to the swing, and the cat's like, and jumps out of her arms. And then it transforms and it grows, and we see what's been getting all these people. And it's a cheetah person on a horse.
Yeah. This was supposed to be very different.
Oh?
So Rona
You
Monroe...
don't say.
Since we're talking about the cheetah people, I might as well get this in now. So Rona Monroe, who wrote this episode and went on to write The Eaters of Light 30-something years later.
God damn it, Kuchiri,
You promised you wouldn't make this reference! You lying bastard!
Fun fact, that's what he wanted me to put on my soundboard.
I guessed as such.
I didn't guess, but it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, Rainiac, talk about the cheetah people.
Yeah, so originally, Rona Monroe envisioned them not as, like, rejected members of the Thundercats, but from... Instead, she envisioned them to be mostly humanoid, but to have, like, cat-like ears. Cat-like eyes. And maybe fangs. And that was it. So they're, like, mostly human, with some cat features.
I mean, that's kind of what people turn into later in the story.
And
but...
she wasn't very happy about the finished article, because she was like, so I've got this plan, and then I come over the set, and there's all these people in cheetah costumes.
Is this a furry convention? What the fuck is going on here?
And it wasn't very good.
A furry convention would have actually good-looking suits.
I'll continue that story when we get when we see a mass gathering of cheetah people in part 2. But
furries, they have a better budget than 80s Doctor Who.
You know it.
To be fair, apparently a good fursuit costs like thousands and thousands of dollars. So
I mean, them furries are dedicated. We'll give them that. So Ace ends up having a little chase scene in the playground with this cheetah on a horse. Jumping up the slides to try and get away, going down the slides, eventually hiding like inside some jungle gym sort of thing.
I'm sorry, but this perfectly shows how shit the budget was. It's like, all right, Ace, you're going to use the playground in order to get away from this thing. Go up the slide, go down the slide. Go up the slide, go down the slide. Go up the slide, go down the slide.
So it was Power Rangers choreography then.
So she's stuck in this jungle gym calling for help from the doctor, and then eventually she gets got. But like, unlike what y'all were saying, where it's like, oh no, I've tripped. Ace just sort of stops and turns around and just gets got. I guess the implication is that she ran out of breath or something.
Yeah, I think so. But she lands on a mysterious landscape in amongst a load of bones.
Ooh,
She is clearly fallen into the Lion King.
Oh no, she got sent to Blackpool.
Oh no, she got sent into whatever disused quarry the BBC could afford that week.
That's it, Blackpool.
I'm just quietly seething over here.
No, Kat. Let's be nice. We know that with the budget they had, they couldn't afford train tickets to Blackpool.
I'm just quietly
They
seething
just
over
plugged
here.
They just chose the rock pit right next to the abandoned warehouse.
Thank God I was just born there and don't actually live there. I live outside of Blackpool, but still.
So the doctor finds the cat, but just as he's about to get the cat, the sergeant is like, "Oh, I've caught you. You've been causing a lot of trouble and being a public nuisance. I'm taking you in." And the doctor responds by poking the sergeant in the forehead,
The finger poke of doom!
like some Venusian Aikido shit. I don't know.
Yeah, so this
But
is what he was going to do with the
incapacitates
coin. This is why the coin thing, he was going to like practice to push it with one finger. And then push the forehead with one finger. It doesn't make sense, but that was the scene that was not filmed. Or did
So,
make
I
it
mean,
into the
I'm
final
kind
cut
of glad
anyway.
they cut that out because that sounds stupid.
It is, isn't it?
So Ace is on this planet and running around. She sees the little kitties are picking at the dead car wash guy from the beginning. And then, the cheetah on the horse comes after her. But then the wrestler guy who also got teleported, he was like, run, get away from here. And, he distracts the cheetah, but the cheetah fucking bites him off screen and kills him and takes his body, puts it on the back of the horse and rides off.
Yeah.
But Ace is also saved by a friend of hers, Shrila, who's like, hey, sorry, come on, let's get out of here. Go into the woods.
She's one of the ones that was mentioned as being missing earlier.
Yeah, and there's two other guys here that they're hiding in the underbrush here with a little fire going. You've got Midge and Derek.
And the dead wrestler was Stuart. It's never mentioned again, but he was Stuart.
So, end of part one then. The doctor's still after this cat. Sarge is after the doctor. And just as the doctor's about to get the cat, the sergeant grabs him by the ankle, and then they both get teleported onto the alien planet. And they get up, and they head to this little camp for cheetah people. And someone comes out of the tent, and who should it be but the Master? Oh, no!
What a completely unexpected surprise.
Well, I just wanted to also say he doesn't come out of the tent. The doctor slightly opens a flap, and then there's the master.
Yeah, and the reason why the Master's in this, genuinely, is because either Cartmel or John Nathan Turner wanted at least one familiar villain for season 26. So they put the Master into this story. You could have had an original character.
Yeah, I guess.
I think Amy does a good job as the Master here.
Yeah, this is a good... There have been worse outings for Ainley as the Master.
Absolutely.
It just is unfortunate that the sound editor decided to not edit his sound, so he always sounds like he's mumbling.
Yeah.
I have you in my trap now, Doctor.
I feel sorry for him that he wasn't invited back for the 1996 TV movie.
Oh.
I mean, come on, it was only like a 30-second scene. You could have included him. He wasn't a terrible Master at all.
No, he was in some terrible fucking stories.
He wasn't as good as Delgado, but he wasn't a bad
No,
Master.
see, he took one look at the script for the TV movie, and he was like, nope.
No, they didn't invite him.
Shit, I'm out.
I mean, that would be a nice idea, but they didn't invite him specifically. not the other way around.
Oh, fun fact. Apparently it was Sylvester McCoy's idea to have that Cats poster up.
Nice, he understood the assignment. And nothing of value was lost.
So, part 2 then?
Yeah, so part 2, and we finally find out now we are officially on Cheetah World, also known as the Cat Planet, Planet of the Cats, Cat Planet. I'm fine.
Okay, Raocow, calm down here.
By the way, I actually just slapped myself across the face. That was bloody stupid.
Wow, you're slapping yourself across the face with the buddies and the guys.
Don't say that Rainiac never, put blood into this podcast.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
I didn't hit myself so hard I bled, Kuchiri. I'm not that stupid.
I mean, I could.
Can you not, though? Can I just request that you don't?
Hang on. Well, I don't want to smash a mirror to draw blood,
You know what this? Yeah, please don't. That's even more extreme. You know what this audio-only podcast needs? A visual of someone hitting themselves in the face so hard they bleed.
The gift-mobile.
No, that was not a suggestion.
Insert the next 5 minutes just random gifs of people punching themselves.
That was not a suggestion.
Okay, so
well, the director's asking for it, guys. We gotta do it.
The director. Action. So, yeah, fine, all right. That one gif I will allow.
A meme for everything.
I hate my job sometimes.
You want to know something really funny about that scene from SpongeBob?
Yeah.
So he's at like this fan convention, and he meets like this big person who's like a celebrity that he's a fan of. And the dude's like, punch yourself in the face. And of course, SpongeBob does it. And then he says, doesn't that hurt? And then SpongeBob pulls out a bigger metal glove with spikes on it and says, do you want it to hurt?
You have to add how he says it. Like,
it to hurt.
Do you want it to hurt?
So there's a nice little scene here where the cheetah people are surrounding the Doctor, and that's not what they actually are called the cheetah people. So that's the actual species name.
It came from the book of Super Original Names, just like the sea.
And then the drill sergeant, or whatever he is, runs away. He doesn't get very far.
The master just tosses a ball, and then the cheetahs are surrounding him, and they're like
he just treats these cheetah people like his own personal cats.
Basically. Oh, they're a fun-loving race, Doctor, primarily.
So he just like throws a silver ball, and they surround Patterson. They don't kill him yet.
Yet.
So
back at the camp, though, Ace is like, oh, wait, so where do these things come from? Well, they just come down this road mostly, but we hide in the underbrush, but it doesn't matter. Wait, they come down this road all the time? Well, let's try to catch one.
Yeah.
And back with the Doctor and co, he tries to distract the cheetahs with juggling, but it doesn't work. So he goes to plan B. Steal a motherfucking horse!
Oh my god. A lot of this story feels like they weren't really trying, but bless McCoy for giving this his utmost. He gets more of his juggling into the script because we know that Sylvester McCoy can juggle.
We sure do.
And juggle very well. He then rides a goddamn horse.
And carts Patterson off with him. So, back with Ace's grand plan to catch a cheetah person.
I love this.
Great. They're on either side of the road. Ace is on one end with a rope, and Shrila with the other, and they're going to pull it and try to trip the thing. The cheetah person rides up on the horse, stops at the rope, holds up a paw, shing, out come the claws, and just bonk.
Yeah. I do love their attempt to make a trap.
Yeah.
You don't really see them make the trap. They're just like, we're going to catch one for ourselves. And then you've got the Doctor and Patterson on the horse. Patterson's telling the Doctor about some guff about eating worm stew on a survival course. That's not a joke. He actually says that.
Yeah.
The Doctor
Well,
explains
it's better
that
than any detective stew.
the black cats, which we see one like just relaxing in the sunlight, they're actually kitlings. They actually prefer to give these things an actual name as opposed to like cheetah person or evil cat. This is a kitling, and they are basically teleporting creatures. They work for the cheetah people? Question mark.
They're part of the ecosystem.
Yeah, part of the ecosystem.
They hunt prey and bring it back.
A feline vulture, which is a great description for it.
Honestly, I hate to tell you, honey. I know you spend a lot of time writing this, but this is just how cats are.
Yeah.
So
when you say the right, actually, I had like a fear of cats. Like just walking down, there's just a tab, and it's like, no, get away.
You're saying
No,
that
I'm just saying this is how cats are.
Having had two
they will
cats,
absolutely wait for you to die, and if you forget to feed them during that time, they will absolutely eat your face.
having two cats that
that'll come up later.
having had two cats of my own, plus a third one that just seems to wander into my house whenever he wants to. Yeah. That's what cats are like.
Bringing random people to Cheetah World is like the equivalent of waking up and your cat has a fucking mouse in its mouth and it's like, I brought you an offering.
You look like you're a crap hunter, so I'll do the job for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole reason that cats do that, is because they think you're really shit at hunting. Because, see, dogs see people as masters and it's a different species. Cats are just like, this big-ass kitten doesn't know what the fuck it's doing.
Yeah.
So, we should mention, this will come up, we cut back to Perivale just for a bit, and there's a milkman going about his rounds, and there's a kitling there, so it's just like, dude, we're gonna remember that. We gotta remember that. We also should remember that Midge has anger issues.
Yeah.
Because he's like, this Derek is gonna get us all killed. He's a dead weight. I'm gonna fucking strangle him.
I want to say that Midge is interesting, but he's not.
I want to say the premise of this plan is interesting, but it's also
with
not.
the exception of Kara and Patterson, maybe the supporting cast don't really do a whole lot in this for me.
Yeah. But anyway, they know they've caught something in the trap, so Ace lights a fucking torch and runs out screaming.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's the doctor and the sergeant. Oh.
Well, it's just the doctor. Patterson's on the floor having just avoided the tripwire.
And the doctor's like hanging upside down. Well,
Ace, how many times have I told you about playing with fire?
So they're all together now, and they're moving along through the planet, and they're like, what? Well, there's a lot of cheetah people here. What's needed here is stealth and surprise. And so we play a little stealth mission of walking very slowly past the cheetah people and hoping that they don't eat them.
Yeah,
and so he explains the master, and there's a great line. It's like, oh, he's one of my oldest enemies, a megalomaniac trying to take over the universe. Do you know anyone nice, Doctor?
You know, ordinary people, not power crazed nutters trying to take over the galaxy.
And the Doctor's line is like, no, I don't actually think he's trying to take over the galaxy this time. I don't know what's going on with him.
I also like how, like, if you look at the background, the cheetah actors are, like, pawing at them. Like,
yeah.
The sleeping cats.
These extras do a good job of acting like cats.
I should mention something I remember from, like, the special features and whatnot. You probably got on your TARDIS wiki. But apparently, you know, it was hot as absolute fuck out here in the quarry.
Yeah.
And these people are in full fursuits. And one person was just, fuck this shit, I'm out. Took off the costume and just walked off the set like, fuck it! I don't care!
Even better than that, she walked off the set in her underwear.
Don't give a shit! But, yeah, they walk very slowly past all the cheetahs and get by without any problems. And the Doctor's like, there, you see? All you need to do is keep cool, calm, and collected and prepare for the unexpected. And then the milkman gets teleported from Perivale and starts screaming his fucking head off, ruining everything.
Oh, he dead.
And they all thought, it's like... Oh,
to be fair, it is the milkman. He's probably used to ruining a lot of things, like marriages.
No, to be fair, the milkman was also 2 weeks away from retirement.
I knew it.
This isn't a Chibnall
Every
script.
podcast we make that joke. Every podcast.
This isn't a Chibnall script. Come on now. So yeah, the milkman's here screaming us off. All the cheaters are up and like, ah! And the doctor's like, "Stay still, don't move, don't agitate him." And everyone else is like, "Fuck that! Let's pick up a rock and throw it at him."
Ace is the first to pick up a stone.
What is said more, survival or stay still / wait?
McCoy is just standing there saying, "Stay still, stay still." And there is a blooper where he's like, "I told you to stay fucking still."
I wish I'd seen that blooper.
Oh my god.
Oh, and there's a fun part during this, which I noticed, where at one point Ace decides to run off and join in the fray, but then it cuts to a scene with the Master looking down on them on a cliff, and Ace is very clearly still next to the Doctor.
Yeah, the editing in this is not the best.
Whoops, that's a continuity.
There's an even bigger one in part 3.
Speaking of Ace, everyone's throwing rocks at fucking cheetahs. Everyone's going to shit. So Ace picks up a big rock and hucks it at one of the cheetahs on the horse and just beans the cheetah right in the head.
Yeah. Now remember what the doctor said about, the only thing worse than running from a cheetah is to attack a cheetah. Ace just ignores that.
Yeah, gets caught up in the moment. Survival of the fittest. Anyway, so everyone's fighting. The doctor's like, stay still, God damn it, don't move. The cheetah that got beamed in the head goes away off the horse to like a lagoon, and she falls off the horse and crawls to the water, and then just passes out from the concussion, right face down in the water. And Ace follows, and she like pulls the cheetah out to keep the cheetah from drowning.
Yeah, Ace shows a bit of compassion here.
Oh.
Which will both cost her and actually ultimately help her out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of actions that are costly, Midge is cornered by a cheetah person, but then another cheetah comes up, and the two cheetahs start wrestling each other. Arr, arr, arr.
Yeah,
and that's all this is happening.
They are fighting over who gets to eat Midge.
As all this
For
is
no
happening,
reason, mind you.
The Doctor heads up to where there are some ruins, and the Master is there. And so they have another little confrontation. And the Master explains that the planet is alive and the animals are all a part of it. When they fight each other, they trigger explosions, which hasten the planet's destruction.
God, this
Which,
is
by
stupid.
the way, is the actual plot to Die Ranger, one of the few seasons of Super Sentai we never got in America.
Can we go
Kamen
an episode with
Friends!
Kuchiri in it, not bringing up Super Sentai or Kamen Rider?
Cat, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's going to come out again, but it'd be funny if I made a button for the soundboard that's just going, "Is that a motherfucking cop?"
I love the fact you cut out saying that.
Is that a motherfucking Kamen Rider reference?
I realise that, but is that a motherfucking cut?
No. It's not Star Trek 2. No. But yeah,
Thank
the Master.
fuck it's not Into Darkness.
Good. Yeah,
But the Master does give a lot of exposition here, which it kind of works.
Yeah.
It breaks up the
He needs the
fighting.
Doctor's help because the Master's trapped on this planet and can't escape. The Kitlings only teleport you to the planet. They can't teleport you away from it. And also, this place, he says, it bewitches you because if you stay here, you'll be like the people who built these ruins. They thought they could control this place, but it ended up controlling them. They bred the little Kitlings. And if we stay here, and then it cuts, and you see the Master's got yellow eyes and fangs, we'll become animals. Oh!
Why Master? What big teeth you have?
I am so mad about this. Like, I'm sure Christa will also be mad about this. That is a wolf howl. Cheetahs don't wolf howl.
No, they do not.
Whoops.
And yet, Christa does kind of like survival.
Really?
I kind of like survival.
Well, she wrote a small piece of fiction, detailing what happened to one of the characters after the Doctor had left.
Okay.
Or she was going to. I don't know if eventually made it into the final cut or not, but we were discussing potential ideas for it, and she came up with that.
Well, then I heavily apologize, Christa, but I am going to shit all over this.
I think she would not approve of the wolf howl.
Right. But so meanwhile, back with Midge, one of the cheetahs is beating the other, and the other cheetah is just sort of laying there like, oh fuck, I'm hurt. And so Midge decides to break off a tusk from some dead creature and stab the fuck out of the down cheetah. Hey, you remember that part with the wrestling where it's like, oh, they're already down. I don't need to hurt them anymore. Oh, no, son, it's survival of the fittest. Might makes right. You gotta finish the job. They won't hesitate to get you, so you can't hesitate to get them. You know, it's macrocosm and microcosm.
I don't think the police would accept. I knocked him down, went away, got a knife and stabbed him in the chest as self-defense somehow.
I don't think so either, but...
Look, officer, I only stabbed him 6 times.
He ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 6 times.
He had it coming.
Hey!
I think that calls for...
and now you're marrying me.
I think that calls for the button. Specifically the mirror button.
Oh, all right.
You knew it was coming! You knew it was coming!
What? I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything?
That's right. That's right, bitch. I got in there first.
I guess we're going to have to hit the button again.
Okay, where is it? Let's do that one.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Whoop, 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 whoop.
My finger was literally hovering up for the...
You can't escape it, Radiac. Okay.
That was very good because my finger was trying to over the button for mute. And then she played the mirror alert. Okay, turn off the mute button, and I heard Mariah. So well done.
Did someone say Mariah? No. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously trying to parallel these things. It's the theme of the story.
So can we point out how early on, like the friend was like, they're invincible. Oh, wait, I can just overpower them myself and stab them. Okay.
Well, it helped that one softened it up for me.
Also, the doctor did trip one with his umbrella, which was adorable.
And so everyone else, the sergeant and Derek and Shrila are like sort of there, and Midge comes back to them, and he's got like he's got the pendant that the dead cheetah person was wearing, and he's like, I'm back, I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
Anyway, there's some interesting stuff with Ace.
Whatever you say, Destiny's Child.
Yeah. So there's interesting stuff with Ace where the cheetah wants water, and so Ace gets some. She just pulls it in her hands, and I know we just hit the button, but the red moon of the planet is reflected in the water in her hands. Moon reflection? I mean...
Look, we're going to save that for later when something else is reflected in the water.
You mean space dragon egg reflected?
No, that's...
Alright, that's a 10-minute timeout for Kuchiri.
This is an alien moon, Kuchiri.
That's a 10-minute timeout.
I know the general location of where you live, Kuchiri.
The general location of where
and we just consulted...
There's a giant landmark.
And I've just consulted the video referee, and it's commuted down to a yellow card. You get off lightly on this one, Kuchiri, but don't do it again.
Yeah, so she gives the cheetah person water, but the doctor finds Ace, and he's mentioning, oh, what we need to get out of here is an animal whose home is Earth. And the master overhears him, and he's like, now I know what I have to do.
Yep.
Also, can I just say, it's really condescending the way that they talk about this cheetah person right in front of the cheetah person.
Yeah, just a little.
It's like, it could be some use to us. It's like, it can hear you.
Also, it's a she.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
It genuinely is a she, by the way. That's not me saying that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, she's right there. She can hear everything you're saying about using her. The fuck?
Yeah.
This is not the master manipulator.
No, the master's the master manipulator in this story, surely.
So, back with the sergeant, he's like, well, right, we survived. You know, it's kill or be killed. Yeah, it's kill or be killed, says Midge. We need to survive. Oh, the strong have to survive, and we can't have no dead wood. And he's looking at Derek, and he's like, no dead wood. Urgh.
Yeah.
And So we cut back to Dr. and Ace is like, hey, Doctor, it's kind of weird, but I kind of like this place. I feel like I could run forever. I feel like I can smell all sorts of things. Oh my God, it's wild. But then they hear screaming, and Midge is trying to kill Derek, survival of the fittest. Oh, the weak have to die. I have to plunge this stake into your heart, you weak son of a bitch.
Yeah, and I think even Patterson's trying to stop him at this point.
Yeah, Patterson's like, okay, lads, you can wrestle and learn how to self-defense, but he's not going to stand for shove a tusk into someone's heart.
Yeah, I don't think he actually wants to kill anyone.
Yeah. So he's trying to wrestle him off. The Doctor and Ace get there, and they get Midge off, and then Midge, he goes full cheetah. Like, he's got the yellow eyes and the fangs, and he hisses, and he runs away. And the Master, while all this is happening, has been fucking around with some, like, rags on bones. And he's made a trap for Midge, and he traps Midge, wraps up his legs, and then he puts a makeshift leash on him with the rags, and he's like, ha! Go back home hunting, Midge. Go back to planet Earth. And so Midge is like, and they both teleport away back to Earth.
He also doesn't remember his own name because he's really been affected very quickly by this animal factor or whatever it is.
Yeah,
this hunting instinct.
And so the Doctor's like, well, good news and bad news. The good news is that we know how to get home now. The bad news is that one of us has to go full feral in order to do it.
And then we use them before they try to escape and kill us all.
Yeah. And Patterson has a bit where he looks at Derek and is like, what are you looking at me for? It's him! It's him! It's him! He's the one! Stay with me! Stay.
But he's not the one because the actual one...
Yeah, the cheetah person comes back and Ace is like, look, Doctor, she's better. And she turns around and, oh, no! She's got the yellow eyes!
These are not great cliffhangers. Even the cliffhangers were kind of phoning it in.
I mean, this is the last cliffhanger of classic Doctor Who, when you really think about it.
Glowing eyes.
Glowing eyes. Yeah. Ace is going to become a cheetah person. Oh, no.
It's something to do with the liver. It happens.
So, the final...
Your delivery needs some work.
It's not jaundice, Kuchiri. Come on.
So, the final televised episode of classic Doctor Who. Survival 3.
Holy fuck, this is bad.
Yeah, so Kara has basically bewitched Ace with the help of the hunting instinct of the planet. And she's like, come hunting with me, sister. Ace, don't go away with the cheetah person. Ace proceeds to go away with the cheetah person.
And then we have some slow motion running.
And this is where Rona Munro was really annoyed about what they did with the cheetah costumes.
Oh?
Because there was meant to be some lesbian subtext in this story.
You can still see it here and there.
Yeah, but the fact that Kara's face is completely covered by a cheetah mask completely ruins it.
Well, I hate to say it, but there's more lesbian subtext here than there is in the entirety of Chibnall season.
Yeah. But Munro was also upset because apparently, before they got put in the cheetah fursuits, which was another last-minute addition, the actors didn't originally know they were going to be doing this. Rona Munro visited the set, and she was really impressed with all the facial work the actors were doing. Like, it was really animal-like and you know, like proper beast. And they thought, oh, that's fantastic. That's going to really come across good on television. Why are they in cheetah suits?
Then you can't see any of it. Okay.
Yeah, and it even affected the work that Kara and Ace did. Because they're meant to be like a bit where they look longingly into each other's eyes, but of course, one's covered in a cheetah mask. So
I will say, I think I have a theory as to why they did this. It's not a good theory, but it's a theory. Oh. And I think the theory is that they didn't want to show cannibalism.
Yeah, I can understand that. My theory is they just read Andrew Lloyd Webber's wardrobe.
Also possible. But what I'm saying is this had to be a conscious decision, because I'm sure those suits were not cheap.
No, they don't. They don't look too well. Yes, they do, but they don't look bad because they're cheap. They look bad because they're bad.
Well, yes, but I'm still saying that they had to cost something out of the negative budget that this episode series.
But does that make sense? They're not. They don't look bad just because they're cheap.
So, back on Earth, Midge has teleported the Master back to his flat, and the Master is looking in a mirror. We're gonna hit the button for Ace later.
That is a very unfortunate flat, by the way. Like, that flat is ugly.
Yeah.
It's like a council flat. Anyway. But the master still got the yellow eyes and the fangs. Is like, no, I'm off the cheetah planet. Why am I still an animal? No, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to fight it.
Yeah, he also says something about, like, stronger wills and minds and blah, 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 blah.
I'm the master. I have the superior will, not fucking cheetah planet. And he's like, if I'm going to become an animal, then like an animal, I'll destroy you.
I don't mind skimming through this, but you have missed one of the best bits of dialogue.
Go on.
It's when the cheetah people, it's when the Doctor, Patterson and company are like left behind, and Srila asks the Doctor, "When do more cheetahs come?" The Doctor replies, "Stay still and try not to look like a hamburger."
So, we find out here with Ace and the cheetah that the cheetah's name is Kara. And Ace is having a good time going wild with Kara. Ooh, I can smell the wind. I can smell the sense. Oh, I'm a hunter. Ooh, I want to go after my prey. And then they're at the lagoon again, and Ace looks at her reflection in the water. That's a hit the mirror button a moment if there ever was.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Doctor Who Mirror Alert.
So Ace goes hunting with Kara off on a horse as the Doctor tries to get her to come back. And they end up stopping by like a freshly killed hunt. And it's like, when I'm hungry, I hunt. And when I hunt, I eat. And Ace is like, wait, would you kill me? If you were hungry?
Would you eat me?
How fast can you run, sister?
And here's where I'm going to, here's what I'm going to mean, Here's what I'm going to mean. You were saying it earlier.
It's not me doing this.
You were saying it earlier, but I did it for this bit. You could have did it for the Kitlings, but I did it for this bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was tempted to put in that scene from Malcolm in the Middle.
Stater face.
Yeah.
Ask Dewey, he knows more about it.
No what happened to her. Yeah. How the hell Bryan Cranston delivered that line completely deadpan, I have no idea.
Because Bryan Cranston is one of the best actors out there.
He is a brilliant actor, I have to admit.
Yeah.
And he was also in Power Rangers twice.
And he was in Seinfeld.
Yeah, he was Zordon in the film, but he was also one of the Monsters of the Week.
Alright, Kuchiri, I'm going to need you to record me a Common Writer Mirror Alert or something like that, in the same vein as the Mirror Alerts at least.
I mean, equal opportunity. I can't complain.
Since can!
There's going to be so much of this, apparently.
I can bloody complain. Anyway.
The doctor calls out to Ace to bring her back again. And meanwhile, the master is conditioning Midge to be his hunting dog. Like, yeah, damn, I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about this outfit?
Oh, well, we'll get to the outfit. The suit and shit.
Can we talk about how he just looks like Eric Roberts Jr.?
Well, the suit's a little later, but yeah. But,
I mean, he's an underling of the master. It's kind of appropriate, but...
Yeah. So the doctor gets Ace back with the rest of them to leave Kara behind. And he's like, okay, Ace, you could get us home, but you might not be able to change back. The choice is yours. And Ace is like, yeah, I'll do it. So we're going home.
They missed a trick here, I think, because I know she's in the early stages of transforming into an animal. Yeah. But I think she's led by the Doctor far too easily here. Yes. There should have been a bit of a struggle to show that she was becoming an animal.
Oh, there's a bit of a struggle later, I guess. But anyway, they're going home. Zip, zop, zoom. They teleport back to Perivale thanks to Ace. And the Sarge is immediately like, oh, nothing happened. I just blacked out. That's all. Why are you holding my hand? What are you on? Bullshit.
Yeah. He's late for his self-defense class, so he pompously wanders off.
So did they explain why only he did not have his memories?
No, he's just did not. He has
his memories. He just refuses to accept that it was real. Even though he saw a person killed in front of him. There's a great bit in this scene where Ace is like, thanks, you should say thanks, Ace, thanks, Doctor. Thanks for saving my life, get me back home. President's like, I don't know what you mean. Then Derek says, thanks, Ace, thanks, Doctor. Thanks for saving my life and get me back home.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
The Master and Midge then steal a motorbike from like a shop.
Oh yeah. So
And Ace is like, "Well, it's all over now, Doctor. We can go home, right?" No, the Master's still out there with Midge. Well, wait. Which is nice because they teleport right to the TARDIS because the cats, the Kitling, the power, whatever it is, it teleports you home. So for the Kitlings, it's Cheetah Planet. For Midge, it was his flat. But Ace, when she was going to teleport everyone, teleported them to the TARDIS. So that's really sweet, I think.
It's too bad that this concept is never explored except for in Big Finish.
I mean, to be fair,
They do bring it up in the episode.
To be fair, how can you explore this concept when this is literally the last episode of the classic series?
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah, but
there's also a line like, "Oh, so where do you want to go? Home. The TARDIS."
Yeah, right at the end. Yeah, but the Doctor's like, well, we should go to wherever Midge lives. Then we might be able to track down the Master. And so they go there and they check things out, and they find a crying little girl.
First they find the dead cat, and then
they find the dead stuffed animal.
This is Squeak, not the dead stuffed cat. The little girl.
Dead stuffed cat. Jesus.
Her name.
They named the little girl Squeak.
Squeak, yeah. Her brother Bubble was not available for comment.
Are their parents bangers and mash?
Do you want to know the really funny thing? I had sausage and chips for my dinner tonight.
Oh my god.
Really
that's so.
Her actual
so
brother, I believe, is Midge.
Yeah.
I think this is Midge's younger sister.
Yeah, I think that's...
Well, I mean, she's in his house, so I will have to assume.
Yeah. No, little girls just break into houses all the time in my country. No, she is his sister. And,
Man, Blackpool going hard these days.
Will you stop shutting up, Blackpool, please?
Hey,
this is the unearthly child twist. It's actually his daughter.
Look, Blackpool gave the world William Regal. I think we paid our debt.
Listen.
With that one brilliant man.
You say William Regal, but the way you could have gotten to my heart is to say the phrase Blackpool gave us Jenna Coleman.
Yeah, and one half of the Pet Shop Boys.
One half of the Pet Shop Boys.
So at the very least, they gave her an actual name, Abigail, in one of the books.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Squeak is just her nickname.
It's bad, though.
Right.
And she's
So
crying
meanwhile-
because the cat's dead, and it's been killed by the bad cat man that Midge brought back.
Mm.
And so,
Speaking of Eric Roberts Jr. here.
oh god, yeah. Here is an artist's impression of what Midge looks like in this scene.
I mean, the leather jacket is way off. He kind of looks like Kid's first businessman.
He looks like John Travolta in Grease out of Wish.com.
He looks like Eric Roberts' doctor from the '96 movie.
No.
Somehow.
He looks like John Travolta in Grease ordered off Wish.com. That's what he looks like.
Y'all, oh my god. So he's showing up with all the people who are ready for self-defense classes. Like, I'm going to share the secret to success and tell you all about survival of the fittest.
Also, he's wearing sunglasses, so he's evil now.
Yeah, because
hang on. I found a picture of Midge in the suit.
Oh god.
Yeah, fair. I mean, he looks nothing like that, but fair.
So the Master shows up, and it's obvious, Master, I'm the Master, you'll obey me. Ooh. And the Sergeant shows up just as Midge and the Master have an army of obedient lads. And it's like, well, let's show you all about survival of the fittest now. and
then,
so the Doctor...
President's like, oh, a bit late to the class. Like, what did I miss? Oh, God.
Oh, dear. So Ace manages to get a glimpse of where the Master is at via Cheetah Planet vision.
Psychic power!
Because the Master could see through the cat's vision before, so that's kind of like that shared psychic link thing now. He's at the youth center. Let's go. And they go to the youth center and they find a dead Sergeant Patterson. And now it is time for a motorbike duel up on the hill.
This was originally not supposed to be up on the hill.
Where was it then?
I think it was supposed to be on the actual cheetah world.
Interesting. How are they going to get him? Well, I guess it meant different. But anyway,
no, I can't remember. But
Ace is like, Doctor, let me get him. Let me get him. No, Ace, you can't fight. If you fight, you're going to change forever. I'll do it. And so he gets on the bike and they drive towards each other very menacingly.
It's time
You can't leave out the epic flip that they have Ace do.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
It's like the Doctor pretty much yanks her off the bike, and she does this amazing backflip.
Yeet!
She does. Now, this bike jousting sequence was so good that it got the stunt arranger to walk off the set in a huff, because the man they hired to do it wasn't a part of the Actors Union Equity. And tip-tipping was a major player inside Equity. So he was like, this is illegal, I'm out of here, and, no one will work with this. But it turned out it wasn't illegal because Margaret Thatcher had changed the rules.
Thatcher, I swear to God.
They no longer
ruining everything.
They no longer had to be members of Equity, so the guy got to do the stunt. He got paid. I can't blame the man that did the stunt. Come on.
Margaret Thatcher fucking with a union? Never would have thought!
Yeah, but let's not dunk on the guy that actually did the stunt.
No, not dunking on him. Margaret Thatcher fucking with a union?
He does a good job, but as you point out, they play a game of chicken, and neither of them chicken out, and the bikes collide in a gigantic fireball. Ace is distraught because she thinks that the Doctor is dead.
And Midge is sort of lying there. I like, the intent obviously is, oh God, I've been horribly disfigured by this motorcycle crash. But basically, they had the budget for put a bit of soot on the side of the
I was about to say something terrible.
Although apparently what was supposed to happen was the Master's army of newly turned cheetah boys was supposed to descend upon him and start eating him, but then the censors thought, no, that's too graphic.
Probably for the best.
Do that. I mean, you could do that in a bloodless way.
You could just
but they thought it was too graphic.
You just have him surround him and then he screams off camera. That'd be fine.
Yeah. Either way,
See,
well,
this is why I think that's why they had the cheetah costumes, was because they seemed so adverse to cannibalism.
Yeah.
That they even changed this ending bit.
Instead, what happens is that he's half dead on the ground and burnt from the crash. It's like survival of the fittest. The weak must be eliminated so the healthy can flourish. You know what to do, Midge. And Midge just dies.
Okay.
He doesn't kill himself. It's just sort of implied that he stops living on command.
I mean, he's under the control of the Master, I guess, and it's all about the survival of the fittest mentality coming back on
I can workshop this. Is that
you suck ass, Midge.
He lost the fight, therefore the hunting instinct of the planet left him, and that was keeping him alive, so he dies from his injuries. There you go.
So Ace has the Doctor's hat and umbrella she found as the squad advance on her, and she's like, I can't fight. I can't fight. But I need help. Won't somebody please help me? And here comes Kara.
Here she comes to save the day.
Oh, she's dead.
Well, not quite. She does save Ace.
Yeah.
She does save Ace. She gets a rather nice speech about hunting in the morning and living till evening, running out in the light. She just makes the minion squad here just run for the hills. We don't see them again. Yeah. Which presumably means they get to live, because they're not present for any of this.
I mean...
And then she tries to do a Yargo to the Master Jafar, and it doesn't end well for her. He tells her to get off the horse, I presume honourable combat. Psych, I have two of you're dead now.
Womp.
So he stabs her. He stabs her in the chest. The Master laughs to himself because he's killed someone. This is the last person to die, by the way, in old Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The last character to die, and it's Kara.
And so the Master walks off, and he finds the Doctor, who's been flung face first into a rubbish bin.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but this is really funny. Just his ass sticking up in the air.
Ass out in the air is like womp.
Yeah. So
and the Master's laughing as he walks off, and the Doctor gets up and goes after him. And so Ace goes to find Kara, and now we can take the cheetah costume off.
She goes to find Kara, and Kara's transformed into Bernie Summerfield.
Ah!
Because it's the same actress.
No, really.
No,
No, really.
it's the same actress, genuinely. It's Lisa Bowerman.
Yeah.
So they were people the entire what?
Well, yeah, this was mentioned in the dialogue, is that the cheetah people started off humanoid. And then they gave in to the will of the planet, and it turned them in. They regressed into animals.
So I guess dying turned her back into a human temporarily, just long enough to give a little speech, and then bleh.
She gets a final line of "Good hunting, sister," and then just dies.
So the master's trying to lockpick the TARDIS, and then the doctor's like, "Oh hey, having any luck?
Good hunting is what he says.
You're alive. Well, but I control the power of the cheetah planet now. You're doomed." And then he grabs him and they teleports him back to Cheetah Planet, which is completely imploding on itself thanks to all the violence. And they have a big wrestle.
So this scene, I think...
Wait. I think before we need to have Kat hit a very special button for this scene.
Hang on, I'm getting the mute button ready just in advance. I mean, it's gone at this point. What the hell?
I mean, good enough. I was thinking of the Star Trek fight music, but that...
Yeah, that one, yeah.
The duality of man.
Copyright deadlock.
No, it's Duel of the Fates. Duality of Fates. So, yeah, they're wrestling, they're fighting, and McCoy picks up a great big rock, and his eyes are yellow as he's ready to beam the Master, which is interesting, given that this is the very last story, because you remember a little thing that happened in the very first story, Unearthly Child?
Yeah.
Where the Doctor was about to beam a caveman in the head with a fucking rock?
It's a nice little continuity reference and parallel drawn there.
I will say,
this scene does come across as quite cheap, but I see what they were going for here. This was their attempt at the Reichenbach Falls.
Well.
Albeit much worse. But they fight for a little bit. They fight on in Perivale. They get transported to the Cheetah world. He's about to kill him with a skull. So the Master then gets the upper hand. He's like, "You should have killed me, Doctor." And then the Doctor shouts, "If we fight like animals, we'll die like animals." And then it all flashes as he's about to kill him with a bone. He repeats the lie, and he's just shouting in the street on his knees.
Hey, it's like the theme of the story. Whoosh comes the Doctor back to Perivale, and then a lady comes up talking about cats, and it's like, not the Andrew Lloyd Webber cats, but
no, the animal cats.
So
this was so confusing to me because it's like, who the fuck is this lady? Why is she holding empty bottles of milk? What the fuck is going on?
She's just created as neighbor. She's just neighbor.
It's the neighbor who the milkman was having an affair with. You see?
No, I don't.
It calls back to that gag that you made before.
You may have heard some strange yowling from around my house. I swear it was the cats.
Yes.
Don't pay attention to the fact my husband wasn't home. It was just cats.
So, back up on the hill, another cheetah comes and takes Kara's body away.
Weird.
And so she just sort of kneels down with the Doctor's hat on and his umbrella, and he takes the hat and he's like, "Oh, that's mine, I believe."
Yeah. It's kind of cute.
Where did they go?
She gets to wear it for like 2 seconds, but it's kind of cute that she gets to wear the Doctor's hat.
Yeah. They went back to the wilderness. Well, the place is going to be different, but the hunt will go on. I can still feel the power. Yeah, the planet's gone, but it lives inside you, Ace. And it always will. Good. And then we get the line that Kuchiri mentioned. Well, let's go home. Where's home? The TARDIS. And so we get the final speech of Doctor Who. I guess someone in post-production realized, oh shit, this shit ain't coming back for a while.
May I take this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is clearly ADR again. But this time they actually have the good sense to hide the mouth movements. Legend.
They're walking away.
Yeah, and so I think originally he was supposed to be talking about the end of the adventure, and then because you can see him talking to Ace as he's walking.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously not talking about what the ADR says, but as I say, they hide the mouth movements pretty well, so it doesn't matter. But the Doctor's off-camera speech is, "There are worlds out there where the sky is burning, where the seas are asleep, and the rivers dream. people made of smoke and cities made of song. Somewhere there's danger, somewhere there's injustice, and somewhere the tea's getting cold. Which I kind of love. Come on, Ace, we've got work to do. And that is how Doctor Who ends.
That's the end.
Not with a bang, not with a bang, but with a purring sound.
Or, if you believe the people who worked on this, a wolf howl.
I'm sorry, no, that's just, I'm sorry, that purring sound was just Lloyd. I mean a whimper. A whimper.
Ah! Stole the cat!
Steal the cat! Steal the cat!
He's not in with me right now, but when he does come in, God, that cat has got a purr like a jet engine.
Beautiful.
He's really loud.
What a good kitty.
Why are the quietest cats in terms of personality like the loudest purrers? It's really strange.
I don't know.
And that's Survival. That's the end of McCoy. That's the end of Classic. We don't get to talk about Sylvester McCoy anymore on this show, and you know...
No.
I'm
Unless
okay
we talk about the movie.
We already did
We did the movie.
We already did the movie.
We did the movie.
We already talked about the movie, okay.
I would like, before we go to overall thoughts about Survival, which I'm guessing are not going to be too complimentary, I would like to just touch on what would have happened next. If I may.
Go
Go ahead.
Okay, so there is talk of the Cartmel master plan, is there not?
Yeah, well...
It was Andrew Cartmel's vision for the next season and the season beyond.
Really, I would call it more the... what the fuck is the name of the guy? The Platt master plan.
Yeah.
Would be more accurate.
Yeah, but it's known as the Cartmel master plan. So, despite the fact that Ace was a really good companion for the Doctor, she actually would have only got 2 more stories. Her contract was up halfway through season 27. Which again was not eventually was ultimately not made, but so the first story would have been Earth Age, which was a Star Trek rip-off. It would have featured Ace as the captain of a ship, which they also decided not to make because the set looked crap.
Oh no! When the production office decides, wait, this is too crap to transmit, then you got a problem.
The BBC wouldn't have produced it according to Ben Aronovich, because of a crappy bridge.
Yeah.
There is a concept.
You made this using none of the budget that we don't have? How dare you, sir?
There is a concept from the game Doctor Who Endgame of Ace in the captain's uniform. It looks very sort of face apt, but it's okay. Yeah. It'll be on the screen right now. So that was the first one. And Ace's second and final story is very interesting because it was made into a Big Finish audio. Albeit with a lot of changes. So it would have been called Ice Time. Not a great name.
But the Big Finish version is called, very confusingly, Thin Ice.
And I've got it, thanks to you.
You do.
And it's very different to what it would have been because it's an Ice Warrior story, as you can probably tell from the...
Thin Ice was supposed to be in a story set in the 60s in London with the Ice Warriors.
There was a hippie living in a canal boat.
Something like that. But Thin Ice is set in 60s Moscow with an Ice Warrior.
Yeah, when I say that Big Finish adapted it, I mean they adapted the hell out of it, because for one thing, what was going to happen with Ace does not happen. And again, the pictures on the screen of the concept art. Ace was going to leave the Doctor at his request to become a member of the Time Lords.
Clara, 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 Clara.
Yeah. I wonder if it had they not planned to do this, if that would have been the end game with Clara, that she just ends up on Gallifrey.
Well, that would be fucking horrible, considering what Chibnall
would.
Yeah,
I think it would. So she would have then left, and then the final 2 serials of season 27 would have seen a brand new character who's been called both Rain Cunningham and Kate Tollinger. And I wish this had got made, because there's a wonderful planned opening sequence of the next serial would have been Crime of the Century, where Kate/Rain breaks into someone's house, opens the safe, and there's the Doctor inside it waiting for her.
That's a great hook.
That would have been a fantastic opening scene, wouldn't it? But they didn't have much planned other than that. That also got made into a serial, but Rain Cunningham became Rain Creevy because because they found out there was somebody actually called Rain Cunningham. So, we can't really name it after a real person, can we?
Yeah.
And the final story, where Rain would have been in the TARDIS at this point, or Kate, or whatever the hell her name was going to be, it would have been, I'm just getting the name of it here, Illegal Alien, which has some nasty connotations.
Yeah.
It would have had a redesign of the Cybermen.
Oh, good. Cyber boys.
They would have looked slender and more alien-like.
I mean, design-wise, you can do what you like.
So that's what would have happened. It didn't happen ultimately. We got bits of it through Big Finish's Lost Stories range.
If you want to play around with the hypothetical 1990 Doctor Who, you can.
And Illegal Alien was eventually turned into a expanded universe novel. It did feature the Cybermen. I can't remember if they had the altered appearance or not.
I mean, speaking of novels, we should. You also have to tip the hat to a couple years after this aired, the Virgin New Adventures, which continued the story of the Doctor and Ace.
Yes, they did.
And they went on, and they had some great successes, and they had a lot of writers who would later write for New Who. You know, you had your Paul Cornell, you had Moffat and Russell T Davies wrote some, you had Mark Gatiss wrote one.
Actually, since you're talking about this now, I wanted to ask, in any of the novels or Big Finish audios or anything that sort of continued on the Ace and Seventh Doctor story, did they ever fix her of this whole cheetah thing?
The cheetah thing went away, so...
Did they ever bring back up that she was once a cheetah thing?
They didn't need to fix it, because with Kara dead, her link to her was broken, and the planet was gone, so a part of it remained with her, but it never really came back out of it. I'm just spitballing here, but I don't think they ever bring it up again.
I mean, I guess, but there's also the fact that, you know, there's all those dudes who were under the Master's control and became cheetah men, or were also out there. And
Well, they didn't fight.
They
didn't fight, so I think they were okay.
I don't know. It feels kind of weird to me that if you were just taking this at face value, and all you did was watch these series and did not read any of the books or anything like that, it goes immediately from here's Ace being told that she's not allowed to fight to Ace and Tegan shooting shit.
I think they will bring up some of the Ace stuff in between in the final.
Chibnall can't remember anything that happened before 2008 when the show was good.
I expect a throwaway line to Ace's charitable foundation.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Because Pete Matigue made her a capitalist. So
made her a philanthropist.
A
charitable
businesswoman.
She had a foundation called a Charitable Earth, because Ace, her.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it for Classic Who. I don't know if we got anything else to talk about before we get to our thoughts on.
No, I think that's it. Let's get to the overall thoughts. Who would like to go first? Also, who picked this? It was Kat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was me.
All right, Kat gets first refusal.
I will go last, if that's okay.
Kat gets first refusal. Do you want to go first, or what? I'll take that as a no.
I think we can all just summarize as none of us want to give our reviews right now.
I do. Nobody just wants to go first. Fine, I will go first. I will stick my head above the parapet.
Thank you, Ray.
I'm probably going to get shot off.
I'll get my shotgun ready.
I was going to say, I'm probably going to get shot off by Kat. So, Survival is actually one of the weaker McCoy stories that I've seen. It is not terrible. It's a perfectly passable way to spend an hour and 10 minutes just watching 3 episodes of Survival. It's not terrible at all. But they knew that the writing was on the wall, and as a result, it feels... I don't want to say unnecessary. They don't exactly put much effort into it. I think McCoy does pretty good throughout. I think Ainley just gives a decent performance as the Master. Whether or not he needs to be there is up to your interpretation. And I think Lisa Bowman is pretty good as Kara, restricting cheetah suit notwithstanding. Everyone else, their characters are hardly characters. They're just functions. The one that maybe has the most of personality is Patterson. He just gets mauled by a bunch of gym boys off screen. It just feels like they knew it was coming to an end, so why do we bother? And if they're not going to bother, why should we bother liking it? The Wrecking About Fall style fight, kind of, between McCoy and Ainley is alright, I guess. They could have greatly expanded that into a more thrilling finale. But, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? And what it is, sadly, is not a very good way to see classic Doctor Who off.
So, you guys saw my comments on this.
Oh, did we? Are we going to talk about this in a minute? Because these are controversial comments that you made.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to save those comments for last, or do you want me to just bring them up now?
Oh,
I mean, I'm going last, so
whenever you want to mention it, please go right ahead and just let the world burn.
Oh, yeah. So, as I was watching this, and the thing is, this is my first McCoy story, by the way.
Oh, you poor thing.
I'm so sorry.
We need to get you on that good shit. Get this man some remembrance of the Daleks.
Get this man some happiness patrol.
Anyway, so this
the curse of Fenric, for God's sakes.
So this episode definitely felt like the show was dying. Like, it was clear that they didn't spend much time in editing because all the, audio was just not good. The cinematography was not good. It was just a mess. Like, Raina make the joke about the Power Ranger thing, but when all the cat people and the regular people were just finding the quarry, I was just expecting It's Morphin Time. And that was like 3 years before Power Rangers was a thing. It wasn't good. I had a hard time. I had to take a break after watching part 1. I had a hard time watching it. And so I think this being the last episode, I find agreement that, okay, maybe this was the good time to end things off. Yeah, controversial. We didn't want Doctor Who to end. But if no one on the show had any care for the show at this point in time, why try to keep it on life support? Why try to make it suffer, And basically, what I came out of this is I enjoyed the Ark and Warriors of the Deep more than this episode.
Damn.
That is a take.
And the main thing is, I was able to sit through both of those in one sitting. They both had better audio editing and better cinematography.
I mean, I guess.
So this is what's happening in my room right now after Kuchiri said that hot take.
So
here's the let me continue on. I found a random video about the cancellation of Doctor Who. It was apparently like a documentary that was made around 2005. And the director of the BBC at this time apparently replaced the one that hated Doctor Who and was just like, let's get rid of all these old shows. And he was like, I saw there was no one on this casting, the crew that loved this show or had a passion for the show, so I decided to bench it. I only expected for it to come back in 2 or 3 years. I didn't expect it to not come back forever, And it's like, well, I guess I had the same mindset as this runner of BBC.
See, I would argue against that because I think that Sylvester McCoy definitely had some passion for this.
But now we're looking at Chibnall, and we now have these articles where Chibnall has basically gone out and said that his heart wasn't fully in it. Like, he had to write a script in 1 week. And it's like, we've seen how poor the current Doctor Who is because the crew, the cast, the showrunner all look like they're not having fun with it. And, like, honestly, I would have rather Flux not to happen. I would have rather this year's specials not to happen. Just have RTD revive it like 2 or 3 years after Series 12. Whatever. because it's just there's just so many mirrors between the last 5 years of Doctor Who in the classic era and the last 5 years of Doctor Who in the modern era.
I'll say I understand your takes are somewhat are valid. You know, you're entitled to your opinion, of course. But I mean, you say it's your only McCoy. You should probably like look at least this season before you say like, okay, they've got just as little creative drive and passion as Chibnall does with the Flux and stuff like that.
I mean,
like,
I'm sorry, but Remembrance of the Daleks and Chris Fenrick kind of proves that wrong.
Yeah, like this season, we've done Battlefield, Ghostlight, Curse of Fenric. All of those, I think Rain and Kat would agree, are very good stories. Excellent.
Yeah, and Sophie Aldred was not phoning it in.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that for Ghostlight. Ghostlight was just confusing.
So Sophie Aldred had passion.
It's ambitious. Yeah.
Coming through every pore of her body when she was acting in Doctor Who.
Yeah. Those are genuinely good stories, and they're not like on autopilot like Lux is.
Yeah, basically we're saying don't take the end episode as a marker for the rest of his seasons.
Well, I get where you're coming from.
I mean, like, you gotta understand, like, I'm just doing this review, just looking at this episode in a vacuum. I mean, I'm sure, and like, I agree with you guys. I'm sure, watching more, like, it's like whenever I got into Series 11 and I was listening to the podcast as I was watching Series 11, I kept on asking, so when am I supposed to hate this?
Yeah, so
when?
They've already mentioned Fenric and Remembrance, and they're both great in their own right, but I would also put in a strong recommendation, if you're not afraid of clowns, for Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Yes.
That's another excellent one, yes.
That's a strong one.
Although I will still disparage the strange rapping man.
Yeah, alright, fair enough, but he doesn't ruin it for me.
But again, since I've been watching all these episodes in a vacuum, I mean, I'm not sitting down watching season 1 to season 26.
Right.
Just from my watching of Ark, my watching of Warriors of the Deep, yeah, I understand they're not great Doctor Who stories, but I was able to sit through them and I was able to not be bored.
Right.
Survival was just boring to me.
It's like, trust me, if you want something that has fun to it, I would highly suggest Greatest Show in the Galaxy. If you want something truly gonzo, I would probably say Happiness Patrol, just because you have the Doctor confronting this big old candy dude, while people in the background are like, Red Kings are best kings!
No, that's Paradise Towers.
That's Paradise Towers.
Oh, Paradise Towers, right.
No.
Confused.
Happiness Patrol has the pink people.
Right, the pink people.
Yeah, the Happy cultists from Earthbound.
Include Paradise Towers in that as well, because I get those confused all the time.
Paradise Towers is fun. It's a little like campy and gonzo, but I really enjoy it.
And then if you want a headache but still really good acting, go watch Ghostlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can hook you up with a good McCoy later. I said Capaldi.
I have this covered, guys. I have this covered.
Oh, what's this? Oh, I was supposed to link Remembrance of the Daleks, but I linked a Clara episode instead? Oops!
That's pretty much on brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is that all you had, Kuchiri?
Yeah, no, I'll just keep an eye on my Twitter mentions.
Okay, what do we got?
Cat's turn.
My turn. I am going to slightly agree, but also slightly disagree with Kuchiri's take. It's kind of obvious that something went wrong. I don't know if they knew at this point it was going to be the final episode, or if they just weren't a big fan of it.
Don't mean cut in, but the same special I was referencing earlier, they had no clue. In fact, apparently both McCoy got told through a phone call, and then he called Sophie to tell her.
They didn't even tell Sophie?
No,
McCoy was the one that had to tell her.
Also, this wasn't the last episode. This wasn't the last episode of Classic Who that was filmed. It was Ghostlight.
I don't know. It just feels like something went wrong. And it's like, I don't know if it's a budget thing or what, but it just this whole serial just feels off in some way. And it's like, even though hearing that it wasn't the last one filmed makes it really, really weird to me. Because like, I can kind of see what the writer was going for here. And I can also see where the big missteps were. It's like survival of the fittest. What do you do when you're confronted by people who have gone fully animalistic? Like, do you bow down and listen to the animal within you, or do you fight to be more human? In which case, you'd be like compassionate and stuff like that. That could have been really cool. Unfortunately, we got this serial. So I don't know. It feels tiring almost. Like, I have this bad habit of doing stuff while I watch things. But whenever it comes to Doctor Who, I'm usually enthralled enough that I'm able to just watch Doctor Who. But the entire time that I had Survival on, I'm just sort of glancing over at it as I'm scrolling through Reddit, bored out of my mind. It's like Kuchiri said, if they don't care, why should I care? It felt like there was no care, no love, no attention, and it was so weird because it's the Seventh Doctor, and the Seventh Doctor usually has a ton of care and attention to it. So all in all, I'm not a fan. I'm just not. It's like, I'm so sad that this is what the series ended on, and I kind of wish that it hadn't.
So, it may surprise you. I'm the positive one this time. I really enjoy Survival. I really like this one. Like, sure, yeah, everything you've been saying is kind of valid, but in the end, I kind of focus more on the plot beats rather than, oh shit, this is a dodgy cheetah effect, or oh, the green screen wasn't
Well, it
quite right,
wasn't the
or
dodgy cheetah effects that got me. It was just the fact that everything seems so lifeless in this.
mm, you know. And
It's like
like you
they were
said,
trying to get out a message, but not getting it out. And that's what I'm going to say.
yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, with especially with all the stuff that Rain said about Roman Monroe, the cheetah costumes and stuff. But
Yeah.
uh, I can see what it's trying to get at, and I can appreciate that. It's just a talent I have in stories where I'm like, I can see the potential of a story and get at it more than uh, just what's there at face value, and I can really get the potential of the story that's about survival of the fittest and who's strong and who's weak and deserves to die, which almost kind of ties into like some toxic masculinity subtext with Midge being like, "Ooh, I'm a strong big man in a suit now, and we're gonna kill Sarge, and you're weak and you gotta die." And shit like that, and you've got these weird feminist queer readings with Ace, with like the moon reflected in the water, and she's running off with her gay cheetah girlfriend to go hunting, and there's these wild, weird transhumanist bits where it's like the power of the cheetah, it's always going to be a part of you now. It's never going to leave. And she's like, yeah, good. I like that. I like that this experience changed me and moved me and will stay with me as a certain tangible part of my internal landscape. And I just like the final speech. I like the fact that it sort of parallels back with Unearthly Child, just contrasting modern day England with this prehistoric primal place, and the Doctor rejects the whole, fighting because, we don't want to fight and destroy ourselves. There's all sorts of weird and crunchy little subtext. Like, it didn't exactly cohere for anyone here, but it cohered for me. I just really enjoyed watching Survival for this. That's all I can say. And I mean, I'm sad that we're not going to get to talk about McCoy anymore. There's this sort of melancholy there because it's the final Classic Who story, the final McCoy story that we covered. But also, I'm fine with letting the Seventh Doctor go on here because it's not like Chibnall and the BBC's spin-off media at all, where it's like, remember David Tennant? Remember 2008 when the show was good? If we keep referencing it, you can remember. You never have to let go of that. Whereas I'm like, this was important to me. It moved me. It changed me. I loved it. I'm ready to leave it in the past and move on to more interesting and better things that will continue to inspire me. like the planet that's going to be a part of Ace, the Seventh Doctor era will always be a part of me, will always be a part of this show, of its discussion, of my memories of it. But I am ready to leave it in the past, learn and grow from it, and move on to bigger and better things. I can let go of the McCoy era. Classic Who ended here. It ended with a fine little speech. Our coverage of the McCoy era is ending with a fine little speech by me. And I think the Doctor has a quote about this that I'm going to get. Things end. That's all. Everything ends and it's always sad. But things begin again. But everything begins again too, and that's always happy. And that was Peter Capaldi, my doctor, who said that, and he was right. So, goodbye McCoy era. Goodbye survival. I thought you were pretty good. So, moving forward boldly, next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Kuchiri, you have the floor.
Before he has the floor, can I just say one thing that I love about doing this podcast is that we can go from Kuchiri absolutely derailing everything with the tweet that you'll see in the blooper reel to Fresno giving that amazing speech. I love the juxtaposition, right?
I just had to slap myself on the cheek and boop, boop, boop,
yeah.
boop, boop.
Sorry for interrupting. Kuchiri.
No, that speech was great. Always referencing stuff like 2008 when Doctor Who was good. And, everyone around this time has been speculating if David Tennant is going to come back or not.
Oh, no.
Which is weird because he's still been around. I mean, he's been playing the Doctor for the last few years. If you like Big Finish.
If you like it. I mean, Colin Baker told us about an audio with David Tennant from Big Finish.
So, I mean, I was just thinking, why don't we watch listen to some current David Tennant and listen to Death and the Queen, a Dr. Donna story that came out a few years back.
All right, if you're going to make us go back to David Tennant in 2008 when the show was good, I mean, at least you have the good taste to give us his best companion.
I'm okay with this choice. I know that we said no Big Finish as the main subject of the podcast.
We said no Big Finish? Have we ever actually said that?
Well, I don't think we said
should we reenact how the conversation actually went for this?
This is like some Airbud rules.
Yeah,
there's no rule in the podcast book that says what he's referring to.
Whoa, let me talk. What he's referring to is like, well, I'm not sure I should break the Big Finish rule. Oh, in that case, can we do the arc? You get the Big Finish rule, god damn it.
Let's go from survival to an objectively better episode.
Let's not throw around the word objectively here.
No, it's just bad. It's just bad. So no, I'm fine with this breaking the rule for 3 reasons. 1, it's the 10th Doctor and Donna, and that's a great partnership. 2, you made a very good compelling reason that wasn't just blackmail me about the arc for picking this. And 3, I don't have to do any editing with this one, so suck it.
You're just gonna put the
just a still image all the way through, baby.
That being said, I'm pretty sure that once we actually listen to this story, that we're gonna have to we're probably gonna have to change the format because it's not.
I don't mind doing the occasional.
It's up like a whole episode. It's up like an episode.
Well, I mean in the sense that it's an audio episode, so it's
I don't mind
hard to
doing
summarize it.
Yeah, I don't mind doing the occasional Big Finish centric podcast episode, as long as we make it few and far between.
I can think of one Big Finish I would probably.
Yeah, that being said, when Christmas rolls around this year, you're screwed because it's the Chairs of Midnight.
I am like I said with Kuchiri, he had the good taste to pick Doctor and Donna, the best Tennant companion. I will not say no to Charlie motherfucking Pollard.
I'm calling my shot right now.
In
December, we are all going to pick one Christmas episode to do each week, and that's mine right there.
No, I mean, so not only is this Dr. Donna, this is the Doctor ruining another one of Donna's marriages.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think it is.
Well, I haven't
listened to it yet. I've read the synopsis, and I think that's basically it.
I know nothing going in other than what you said, Doctor and Donna. It's
it's fantastic. And the thing is, even though it's all audio, they do enough to make it so, like, while I was listening to it, I had in my mind how the scenes would have played out if it was, RTD was running it, like, back in the day.
That's just how you have to do with Big Finish. You have to.
Well, yeah, no, but the thing is, they do it perfectly. Like, I had in my mind David Tennant literally facing down the Grim Reaper.
That sounds
they
amazing.
act it well enough that you can imagine the facial expressions.
Spoilers.
I mean, it's called Death and the Queen.
Well, yeah, but I assumed that the Queen was like going to be in danger of dying. I didn't realize.
I don't think the Grim Reaper is going to be wearing a dress like Princess Peach.
We'll find out.
Anyway,
Also, you do realize that now I have to tell Chris about this because she absolutely adores anything to do with Grim Reapers.
oh, it's such a good idea.
Kat, I have a very important and strange question. Is Chris aware of the virtual YouTuber Maury Calliope?
Probably not, but if you send me some pictures...
Is that just the Grim Reaper in a dress?
Actually, just send her some pictures and you'll let her know.
Yeah, we're putting Maury Calliope in the podcast because she's basically, what if the Grim Reaper was an anime girl?
Okay.
Here you go. Here she is. Here's
It's not low.
Calliope.
Oh
Here's
my
Maury
god.
Calliope.
That's not Maury Calliope. That's Testament from Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, that's Maury Calliope.
I know, it's a joke.
Brainiac, plug us.
Rainiac, where can you find us lovely people?
Okay, wow.
If you're not going to pay us, at least plug us.
Pushy, aren't you? So, you can find us lovely people on Twitter, at Reviews Doctor. You can find us individually at Rainiac Domaniac, at The Kuchiri, at Concave Usurper, and at Freezing Inferno. Everyone except myself streams at twitch.tv/Freezing Inferno, /Concave Usurper, and /The Kuchiri, respectively. I will get on streams when I've got a moment. What's that? I haven't got a moment for the next 10 years? Well, what a shame.
I still need to finish Ghost Tales.
I will say I have a thing planned. I announced this on a Poly stream last night when we were chatting about stuff and things, but I'm going to be doing a little series called Mega May, in which I play Mega Man games live.
That's going to be great. Also, you have to mention that in both of the Poly streams you were invited to, you tried to picture getting as guest for this podcast.
No, I to be fair, I didn't try in this last one.
No, you just did it in the first one where more people were watching it.
Hey, speaking of Mega Man, we should also think about watching 01, which is the Kamen Rider that's kind of based off Mega Man.
Is that a motherfucking Kamen Rider reference?
Is that me leaving the call? I believe it is. No.
And hey, everybody who isn't Kuchiri listening to this, watch Symphogear.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, my dude.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there very slowly.
You have some good content with a 01.
I'm getting there very slowly.
Oh, snap!
I'm getting there very slowly. Also, I'm ignoring all of that. I'm getting there very slowly, but I'm getting there. I'm now like at 5 or 6 episodes through Symphogear season 4, and so far it's not too bad. I don't want to give away all the secrets what I'm going to say when I finally get to finish the story, but the villains are a little bit weak and undercooked, but one of them does have a compelling backstory that I want to see resolved, where she kills a man in cold blood.
Yeah.
Like she murders that asshole in the most horrible way imaginable. Things will make more sense next week when hopefully I've finished that and I can end the Death and the Queen almost mini podcast by talking about it. But we'll find out.
We'll see. So, don't forget, buy Back to the 11th Hour, Volumes 1 and 2 by Christa McTeer.
And buy Tower Through the Trees by Sean Dillon.
Yes, that too. Buy the books our friends write.
Can I just say, it's really funny that we've done these podcasts for like over 100+ episodes. Mm-hmm. Death and the Queen is going to be our first episode that's actually a podcast.
Yes. Ironic, isn't it?
Don't you think?
I mean, we're going to post some gifts that Rainiac's going to have to add in.
I mean, yes, I kind of accepted that, but apart from the gifts, which I now know you're going to go overboard to make me work even harder. Apart from the gifts,
absolutely.
it's going to be like one still image for
But
Devin the Queen and another still image for my pick next time. My
That
pick next
gifts?
time.
Here's Rainiac. Here's Rainiac when he sings all the gifts he has the other hand.
What the hell is that from?
I don't know, but it's fitting, isn't it?
It's perfect.
Oh, I know what that's from. It's from this.
I hate the fact that she's running perfectly in time with that song.
Say goodnight, Rainiac.
Good night.
Good night, Rainiac.
So join us next.
Good night, Rainiac. Good night, Fresno. Good night, Cat.
Good night. Good night, lizard.
Good
night, sweet prince.
Good night,
I
7 foot
hardly
tall
knew
cardboard
you.
cut out of Peter Capaldi. Wait, what? So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this madness. And join us next time for something that I don't think the three of us have ever heard before. David Tennant and Catherine Tate starring in the Big Finish audio, Death and the Queen. Until then, bye for now.
I'll get it out of my system now. Release the butthole cut.
Well, scratching that joke out of my notes.
Hey, it's okay, Rain. You can still make jokes about cats because, according to Stephen Colbert, James Corden is going to be Doctor Who.
Allow me to tell my feelings on this.
Yes, Chris Miller made that joke.
He knows what Doctor Who is?
No, he's a nerd, of course he does.
Thankfully, I think it was a joke because nobody has officially reported on it. But if it's true, I reiterate. I shouldn't have done that. That's hurt my throat. Oh.
And, you know, it's sad that we don't get to talk about McCoy anymore on this show, but also, like, I'm fine with letting McCoy go because, like I said, I rail against Chibnall and the Tenet, the Remember 2007 when the show was good bullshit. Yeah. I'm sorry, Kuchiri just threw me for a fucking loop with that.
I was gonna post that after you'd finish, but could you beat me to it?
Are we? Oh God! Are we putting it in the show, or are we blooper reeling, or do I keep going, or what?
Keep going.
Okay. Where was I?
What the fuck was that?
That was me slapping.
I think Gollum got onto the audio for a second there.
Okay. Where was I? Help me out here. Help my scatterbrain out here. What did I say before I got hit by that link?
I don't even remember. I was too distracted.
Did
by
you
it.
talk about stuff being resonated or something?
We have to put it in the blue
No,
reel now. So good freaking job, guys. Okay, I'll count you in.
3, 2,
1.